Hello YouTube, and welcome to the first episode of Taking Off, an aviation news podcast. Taking Off will just briefly cover preliminary aviation incidents and accidents for each month. I will not speculate on what happened, and reporting may be out of date by the time this episode comes out. So check with local news sources for the most updated information. So, let's get started. In February of 2025, several notable aviation incidents and accidents occurred. First off, Delta Airlines emergency evacuation at Atlanta. Passengers on a Delta Airlines flight experienced a frightening situation when the cabin filled with smoke shortly after takeoff from Atlanta. The aircraft returned to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, where all 94 passengers and crew evacuated safely using emergency slides. No injuries were reported. One of the biggest news stories from February involving aviation was the near collision at Chicago Midway Airport involving a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 and a Flexjet Challenger 350 private jet. A Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 nearly avoided a collision with a private Challenger 350 jet at Chicago Midway Airport. The Southwest flight was preparing to land when the private jet moved onto the runway without authorization from ATC, forcing the commercial jet to go around and abort its landing. Both aircraft landed safely, and the incident is under investigation by the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB. Tragically, bearing Air Flight 445, a Cessna 208B Grand Caravan EX crashed over the Norton Sound in Alaska on February 6, 2025. All 10 occupants, including the 9 passengers and the 1 pilot, perished in the accident. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the NTSB. Now for also a pretty big one that we all have read about what happened in Toronto, Delta Connection Flight 4819 accident on February 17th at 8:15 p.m. local time. A CRJ 900LR operating as Delta Connection Flight 4819 by Endeavour Air crashed upon landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport. The aircraft overturned on the runway, resulting in 21 injuries among the 80 people on board. Fortunately, no people perished in that accident. Now, close to home here in Arizona, there was a mid-air collision on February 19th. 2 people died in a mid-air collision at Marano Regional Airport in Arizona. The victims were identified from Rio Vista, California. The Lancer 360 Mk2 aircraft collided with another plane, crashed, and caught fire. The other aircraft, a Cessna 172 based out of Chandler, landed safely. Despite these incidents, aviation experts emphasize that flying remains one of the safest modes of transportation, thanks to rigorous training, thorough investigations, and continuous technological advances. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, released its 2024 annual safety report indicating strong overall performance in aviation safety, with improvements noted over the 5-year average of several key parameters. While recent events have gnarled significant media attention, data does not suggest an increase in aviation accidents. Experts attribute the perception of increased incidents to heightened media coverage rather than a rise in actual occurrence. So, with that, flying is still the safest form of transportation here in the United States. I would still hop on a plane no matter the circumstances. With that being said, this is February's recap of aviation incidents and accidents here in the United States. If you like this type of video, like, comment, and of course subscribe. And all these accidents will have links in the description that you guys can go look at. So until the next video, adios.